Hi guys, this is Kristen Murphy from Wine Library, and we're here at the Theise tasting. We're kind of finishing up here, but we are at the Diel table, and we were actually speaking with Victor here, who's the winemaker and came into town, and we were talking about the vintages. So Victor, how did you feel about the '08 vintage versus the 2009 vintage, and what were the differences that you saw?
Well, 2009 was a very pleasant and ripe vintage, and it was very good to find a great balance of acidity and fruitiness for the Rieslings especially.
Right.
So for us it was actually a perfect balance to get a very full ripe vintage after a vintage like 08, which was more acidity driven, and therefore it's very good to have a kind of mix in between the vintages, otherwise it would become boring after a short time.
That's very true. And now you were also talking about the differences in tougher years, that it can be a little bit more interesting about how the vineyard sites differ, and how did you feel that '09 did?
Well, of course, in tougher years like 2008, 2006, also 2000 was a kind of difficult year in the last decade, and in these years it is a bit easier to see where the real hands-on winemakers are, because vintages like '09 and '07, '05, they, as we say in German, die fallen in den Schoß, they drop on your lap. Yeah, you don't have to do
Yes.
a lot, you don't have to put a lot of effort in to make great wines.
Anybody could do it.
Well, anybody, of course, this is exaggerated, but in general, you're right. And I think in those vintages, which are a bit more difficult, you get more differentiation between the areas, you get more differentiation between the vineyards, and you have to work very hard in order to get the great potential out of the grapes in your cellar.
Great. Yeah, no, it's very interesting. Thanks so much.
Thank you very much.